Hello.
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 Welcome to Hugo Girl, the podcast where we read Hugo award-winning novels and sometimes other things. Today we've got a Hugo award-winning novel. It is called Forever Peace. My name is Lori.
I'm Haley.
I am Amy.
Hey, we did it.
First try.
I don't have any housekeeping items. Does anyone have any housekeeping items?
No?
I don't think so.
Go join our Discord.
Yeah, join our Discord. There will be a link in the show notes. It's fun and friendly. There are lots of good pet pictures and Labubu pictures if you're interested. And they're in their own channel. If you're not interested, you can just not look at the Labubu Appreciation channel.
Had a lively chat on the Discord recently about American baking measurements.
Yeah.
Which was pretty eye-opening, actually.
The important stuff.
There's a lot of cross-cultural communication.
Yeah.
That's cultural exchange. That's what
I thought-
we're bringing the people together.
We should almost call that the food channel, the cultural exchange channel.
Oh, we should.
In which we say to each other, you eat what?
Yeah. And call it who?
Hey,
Oh.
girl, you ain't know what a cup is?
Kevin posted a picture of canned cranberry sauce, and John from Octothorpe was like, sauces are solid. We're like, well, this one is.
And it's delicious.
It is
It was delicious. We had both the canned variety and the spicy variety.
Ooh.
By that, I mean fresh cranberries on the table.
I think it is good to have
They were
both.
equally delicious.
I like both of them for different reasons.
Yep.
They're both my children. I love them equally. I never had canned cranberry sauce until I was an adult, like well an adult, maybe like 30. And I was like,
We had
oh.
every year.
I was raised entirely on canned vegetables, I think.
I made my family embrace the fresh cranberry approximately 10 years ago.
I think
Before
canned
that, it was
cranberry
pure-
sauce
pure canned.
was probably on the table with my family. And I was just like, I ain't eating that. It doesn't look right.
I like slicing it with a knife.
Yeah.
It's so satisfying.
They sell these cups on TikTok that look like the can with the ridges, and you drink out of it, and it's red.
I love that.
It's really clever.
Like it looks like the inside. Like
Yeah.
it looks like the
just
cranberry
hollow.
sauce itself.
Yep.
That's cute.
Also, I watched another video of someone with like the gallon size of it, and they uncanned it. And it went, it's awesome.
And in defense of it, I actually looked up the ingredients to see if it had any gelatin in it, and it doesn't. And it has surprisingly few ingredients. It's just like basically sugar and cranberries and maybe corn syrup.
Some
and
pectin.
Well, cranberries have so much pectin. There isn't any added. It just gels like that by virtue of its pectinousness.
I recently
Amy has looked up the mug.
That's awesome.
That's pretty cute.
I recently
It's out of
learned.
stock. I regret to inform you.
Yeah, I recently learned that cranberries are called cranberries because their flowers look like cranes.
Cute.
Cranberries.
I didn't know that. I know I need to.
Flowers are gorgeous.
I love that.
Oh my God. Okay. So as you can tell, we are recording this just a few days after Thanksgiving. So cranberries are fresh on our minds. Okay. So today we are talking about Forever Peace by Joe Haldeman. It won the Hugo, of course. It won the Nebula and the John W. Campbell Memorial Award in 1998. A funny thing about it winning the John W. Campbell Award is that the epigraph reads as follows. This novel is for two editors, John W. Campbell, who rejected a story because he thought it was absurd to write about American women who fight and die in combat, and Ben Bova, who didn't.
That's awesome.
So shady. I love it. So it's funny that he won that award. Okay.
Joke's on you, Joseph. John W. Campbell.
Joke is on him because Joe Haldeman has 1 million Hugo Awards and everyone likes him. No one ever said into a microphone at the Hugo Awards, Joe Haldeman was a fucking fascist. The same cannot be said of John W. Campbell. Okay, so brief plot summary by the DM. That's me. Emphasis on brief.
I think that's fine.
We got 2 whole books to summarize in this one book.
There's
So
at once too much and not enough to say. So I
tell us all everything you know about particle physics.
went on the side of not enough. The spiritual but not actual sequel to Forever War, Forever Peace is 2 books for the price of 1. In the first half, we primarily followed the journey of Julian Class, leader of a platoon of soldier boys, which are nearly invincible robot soldiers piloted remotely by humans called mechanics. Julian, whose initials are JC, did I mention, attempts
God.
suicide but is revived, reborn, resurrected, you might say, to live a pretty different life in book 2.
My whole mind is blown.
A political thriller in which he, his lover Amelia, and a cadre of academics work to save the world from an automated particle physics experiment that threatens to inadvertently destroy the universe by recreating the Big Bang. They succeed. Kumbaya. The end.
Yeah.
I did it.
That's it.
Oh, we definitely gonna.
Amy looks very
We're definitely gonna have to
disappointed.
talk about how they do it.
Well, yeah,
okay.
that's for general discussion.
good.
I'm still not quite sure how they did it.
Well,
and it worked.
It ain't great.
It takes 48 minutes to send the cancellation command all the way to Jupiter, guys.
True.
I do know that much. Okay, so I would like to, before goodies from Goodreads, jab from Joe.
Yay.
The real burn here is that Joe Walton only read this book once.
I wrote the same I have the same thing written down. Ooh, burn.
And I would like to, if you all will indulge me, I'd like to read what she also wrote in her 1998 chapter, in which she is like, every book from 1998 was basically terrible,
Oh, wow.
about The Rise of Endymion by Dan Simmons, unless anyone else has a Joe Forever Peace comment that they want to share first.
No, my only Joe was I only read it once, which is savage, and that the comments were also generally savage. If you read it on the blog and the comments,
How did it win so many awards then? That's crazy.
the people in the comments asked the same question.
I mean, we're going to get to it, but I liked this book. But
Good.
I
This is
didn't.
gonna be great.
I didn't read anything else published in 1998, so I don't know how it stacks
It's so
up.
close to when Contact was published, and that didn't get even nominated, I think.
No account for taste.
So, Joe, in discussing how she hates everything in 1998, except for The Dazzle of Day is marvelous. How I wish it had been a Hugo nominee. I never heard of that. So she says, then there's Dan Simmons's The Rise of Endymion. After 2 books I don't like much, here's a book I really hate.
Oh, man.
I really don't like sequels that spoil the books that come before them, so this is a book I try not to think about. This is the book that gives all the answers left open by Hyperion, and they're awful answers. I know there are people who really like this book. There must be. It was Hugo nominated and won the Locus SF award, but it's beyond me. It has beautiful prose, but what it's saying, ugh. It's in print, and it's in the library in English only.
Damn.
I mean, she did not pull any punches on that one.
1998, she was like, thumbs down.
I'm glad it didn't win the Hugo, so we don't have to talk about it.
I like all the Hyperion and
Actually, I remember. I don't think I read all the. I think I only read the first Hyperion book, but I read the other.
Fall of Hyperion?
Which one is it?
Ilium?
A different series that has to do with like Caliban in space?
That's I think that's Ilium, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
The other finalists that year.
It's so funny to not like sequels that spoil the original. It's like, does she not like Return of the Jedi then? Because
She might not. Some sequels should never have been born.
Yeah.
The other nominees were City on Fire by Walter John Williams,
Never heard.
Frame Shift by Robert Sawyer,
I like him.
Jack Faust by Michael Swanwick, and then, of course, Rise of Endymion.
What a
I
sausage
can tell you,
fest.
Joe doesn't like any of them.
She pointed out it was a sausage fest. I think she said,
Robert Sawyer's cool, though. He did hominids.
yeah.
Well, she didn't read. She read. I think she'd only read 1 or 2 of them.
She liked Walter John Williams' City on Fire. She said it was a sequel, and so she thinks it suffered from not being a standalone novel.
I think that should. It's hard to. I kind of agree with
It's hard
that.
to judge a sequel.
Yeah, if you haven't read the first book,
You have to read the first one.
yeah.
Maybe that's why people liked Blue Mars, because they didn't read Red Mars.
They're like, we have no idea how much dirt's in that.
Fines. Okay.
I always take Joe with a grain of salt because she's read Citeen 1,000 times.
Right,
So.
which is why it's
fascinating. I almost-
devastating that
I
she only read this one.
Yeah, I also almost never agree with Joe. So
Oh, I agree with her fairly
I often
often.
agree with Joe, but I think the main thing is that I am interested in and appreciate what she has to say. 'cause
oh, absolutely.
She's read a
She-
lot.
Yeah.
always is thoughtful about it.
Yeah.
I don't think she ever just dashes off an opinion about a book, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, that's true.
Even if I strongly disagree. See, Citeen.
Yeah.
Okay. Goodies from Goodreads. What do y'all got?
Guillermo gave it 2 stars on Goodreads, and I will not read the entire review because it's very long, but he had this to say. I constantly had the image of Haldeman just wandering through the woods with a digital recorder, narrating for a few hours every day and eventually typing it up. And when I went back and read a couple of the pages when I was prepping, because I read it a while ago, but I had that in my mind. I was like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening here.
Bad Seed Girl also gave it 2 stars and says, for a book named Forever Peace, there's quite a bit of violence, and I'm not sure I even agreed with the premise of this book.
I saw that one. Agreed with the premise. I wasn't sure what that
Forever
meant.
Peace. Yeah.
No, war's not real.
Yeah.
I have 2 one-star excerpts. Chaz Wyman gave it 1 star, and this is part of a much longer review. Chaz said, with 70 pages to go, I'm not sure if life might be too short to bother.
Aw.
And then Sarah gave it 1 star and said, the gender politics makes this a very punchable book.
Yep.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
saw that one too.
Okay. Any other good reads? Or are you guys good?
I will just say I'll give a just a shout out to No Sellout Productions, who had one of the longest reviews I've ever seen. That started out with basically a screed against woke books, and like most of the review was about how nobody will actually be racist in the future, so how dare he? But it ended, so the whole review said that it was woke, but then it ended by saying, but also Joe Haldeman is a Nazi.
Wow.
It's amazing.
I'm surprised it didn't say transgender for everyone.
It was fascinating.
I actually saw, speaking of woke, I saw someone complaining on the internet about how the food podcast on NPR, The Splendid Table, got by the woke.
Oh, got by the woke.
I was like, what? They're just talking about making turkey today.
They probably said something like, you don't have to eat turkey or something.
He also used the word agenda about 45 times in his review, and how the agenda becomes so agendaed that the whole thing is just an agenda.
I was thinking about the racism in this book and whether I thought it rang true. And then
Same.
when I thought about the fact that he wrote it in 1990, or it was published in 1997, it absolutely did.
Well, Mr. Weirdo, who wrote this review, made a good point, which was that he was basically projecting his probably the racism he grew up with onto the future.
But I still actually think that was very real in the late 90s. Interracial couples definitely.
Yeah, that's why. Well, this guy, I think, kept thinking of it in terms of now. Like you can
Like now?
now.
Yeah.
Because he wrote this review last year.
In a big city,
But in 1996, it was things were different.
Absolutely. But I also think that is,
This is also in the South. It's in Houston.
I think in big cities too, we have certainly much more of an open mind. Like I watched this documentary about a dying mall recently called Jackson Mall, and it was made in 2020. Is it called Jasper Mall? And it was really good. And there is a high school age interracial couple in that movie or in that documentary. And they're talking about dealing with that with their families and their churches and stuff in 2020.
It's not gone.
But they're in either rural or suburban Alabama. It's not gone.
But
So
this is the kind of guy who's like, why are we still talking about race when he's never had to do with it?
I do think having a white man do it did to me, every time he did it, it felt like I'm making a statement about race in a way that's not organic.
A lot of reviews made that observation. That was like, just putting a black character in there doesn't make it a comment on race, you know.
I actually wondered why he even made a black character, because like it wasn't terribly thoughtful about race in any way, I thought.
So I spent some time reading Joe Haldeman's blog from 2012 in preparation, and he actually has...
I didn't know he had a blog. Let's link that.
He did. It's not active anymore, but he had a whole post about questioning the statistics about black deaths in Vietnam.
Oh yeah, they were greater than normal, right?
Well, he said that people put it at no more than 14% of the casualties were black people, but he was like, that cannot be true. And he was talking about the black people in his I don't know what the military word is, company, platoon, I don't know. But so I think he has a thing about that. So it might be why he made him black.
Yeah.
I think that probably with race and with gender, his heart is very much in the right place.
Absolutely.
100%. Execution somewhat ham-fisted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just can't help but like this guy. I feel like
Julian or Joe?
Joe. I feel that he is always trying to write with empathy and sometimes it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah.
He strikes me as your dad who's trying to learn and grow, but doesn't always.
He at least tries.
Yeah, he doesn't quite always do the right thing, but he's trying.
We say that so often. We're like, a man tried. No, I mean, I think that he tries better than a lot of people.
I think that's probably.
I think he takes big swings and sometimes has some commensurately big misses.
I mean, what other white man in science fiction was acknowledging racism in the 90s?
I also think it's interesting watching him try and write a black character because he doesn't.
No,
He writes a character and says
he's black, but
yeah,
he's not writing a black character.
well, Joe Haldeman probably isn't as familiar with the culture.
Right,
so,
that's what I'm saying. It's like he tried, but it's not.
Yeah.
But just not quite.
He has the
quite get
one
there.
moment where
Doesn't
he's
quite
like,
get there.
I eat this kind of food and Amelia eats this kind of food. And I was like,
Yeah, he's like, it's not grits and gravy. She's making him a potato,
Grits
and
and
he's like,
gravy.
potatoes are gross.
yeah, he was like, I don't eat potatoes. I was like,
Irish people eat potatoes, I'm pretty sure is what he says.
I'm glad he didn't get into like caricatures though, so that's good.
no, he definitely didn't. You know what's funny is that Julian is 1 year shy of being Gen Z,
Oh
Yeah,
born in 96.
Amelia was born, and yeah.
Amelia's our age, I think.
and I'm Peter's age because he was 20 in
No,
2004.
she's not. She's 47.
Oh, you're right.
In 2048 or whatever the year is.
They're Gen Z.
So they're Gen Z, solidly Gen Z.
Wait, I thought. Okay, so
Or whatever year
Julian
the book-
can't have been born in 1996 then.
I think she was born. in
She was.
1996.
She's Gen Z.
Yeah.
He's probably like Gen Alpha.
Gen Millennial.
Oh,
whatever.
how funny!
Yeah. Gen-
Oh, she's
he's
a
like-
Zennial.
He'd be a Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha starts around 2010.
No. She's solidly in the Gen Z.
Gen Z goes from like 96 to 2010.
Okay.
I'm a Zennial, and I was born 80.
Zennial with an X. I
Yeah.
was thinking
Yeah, so
Zennial with a
between Gen
Z.
X and
Some
and a
80s,
millennial.
my girlfriend is a 1980 and she's staunchly convinced that she's Gen X.
Well, I like to put myself on the Gen X side too for some reason, but
some of you
I'm
do.
both. I'm
Yeah.
both.
I'm,
I mean,
I'm an elder millennial and I claim it with pride.
Yeah, I don't.
But I think the 3
I'm
years between
42.
ours is very close.
Okay, so Amelia, TikTok generation.
yes.
Okay, so I will start by saying I've been anxious about being DM a bit for this, and I thought both of you would be better DMs because I feel like my history and political history and knowledge of wars and things pales in comparison to basically everyone's, and especially probably Haley's.
Well, this
My
isn't about a real
military
war.
history knowledge is not great.
Yeah, well, this isn't about a real war.
It's not about a real war,
But it definitely has Vietnam in it.
I mean, everything
'Cause
he's
he was a
writing.
Vietnam vet.
Yeah,
I-
I think
so as
everything
someone
he's
who-
writing to a degree is about Vietnam.
Yeah, as someone who reads a lot of military fiction, I don't think you need to know much about the past for this book. So, I mean, Vietnam is like a morass of sadness, but
Which
nothing
I think is
tactically.
the main point he's making about war in this
Yeah,
book. is
but you
it's
don't
a
have to know
morass of
details.
sadness.
Yeah, but it's not like you've got to know like what a platoon is to understand anything.
But I wish I
10 guys.
It's around
It's
20.
a platoon.
In
10
this book, it's 10
battalions?
guys.
It
Because they call their
It differs.
groups of 10 a platoon.
Okay, so a platoon is just your immediate group.
well,
no,
not
your immediate group is your squad, and then you have a platoon, and then you have a couple platoons in a company, and it differs from branch of service. So,
But I think in this book, the only word we need to know is platoon, and it seems to be
Buddies.
10 soldier boys.
yeah,
And I said 10 guys, but really, it could be an even split. 5 penises and 5
5 vaginas.
yep.
Let us never forget 5 and 5.
What if Joe knew about non-binary people?
Well,
I've
Joe,
thought about
there's-
that a lot.
There is an interesting bit in here about not. Yeah, he doesn't.
It's about
he doesn't touch
transgender,
on
yeah.
non-binary, but he does touch on transgender, which I think is
Yeah.
interesting.
Trying to be
I
woke.
think he takes another
trying.
another
big
ham-fisted
swing.
swing. Yeah.
He means well.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
He's trying.
Bless his heart.
Yeah.
He's trying. Okay. So I read a lot of things that talked about how he was prescient, which was part of why I was like, I don't really know about wars. But that he was prescient with the Iraq War, with the attack on Atlanta, paralleling 9/11 and being the catalyst for this sort of like worldwide police presence that is not nice. and resource extraction, things like that. So discuss. That's my ham-fisted swing.
Well, I
Discuss.
don't really know what he got right either, because I mean, I definitely think he predicted that wars would become more blatantly economic in nature.
Not just boots on the ground.
That's definitely in this. I think there's a through line of that. And
Almost like declaring war maybe on Venezuela. ...
dot dot dot.
Yeah.
Dot,
I read an essay that I read in a review of somebody else wrote called, it's by Baudrillard. It's like the war in Iraq did not happen or
I
something.
looked at that too.
It's really hard to read because it's like all about semiotics, and I haven't been in college in 20 years.
It's
But
also 67 pages.
yeah, but I
Bless
tried
you
to
for
skip
trying.
it. Yeah, I tried. And he predicted the kind of, and this started with Vietnam, like seeing war on TV. And for people in the 60s, it was abject horror, and that led to protests. And now it's kind of like, and in the book, it's like, oh, this is my show's on. I watched the 9th Regiment. Which one do you watch?
I was thinking about that because I tried to listen to Dungeon Crawler Carl on my drive down.
That's a book.
Savannah.
People like that, right?
It is a book. It's an audio. People like the audiobook, so I was listening to the audiobook. We could talk more about that another time. But one of the things that's happening in that book is that basically people are viewing combat, right? Like it's a TV show they're trying to make. And a similar thing happened in an episode of Black Mirror and like all this stuff. And I honestly don't know if we're that far from that.
Children play Call of Duty and literally snipe people.
So that's why I feel like we're not far from all of war being just continuously televised and people having their favorite platoon and like all that stuff. It just doesn't feel like it's that far away anymore.
Oh, well, once again, for the 1 millionth time, bring up the movie Wag the Dog with Dustin Hoffman. For people who haven't seen it, you need to see it.
I think the problem is now it's so done in secrecy because of national security too. Like, I don't know. Like, we don't ever know until something happens that it's done. Whereas, like, with World War II, it's like, we're going to invade France eventually, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, which boat in Venezuela?
Right.
So, but maybe.
Yeah, because, I mean, warfare was... I mean, I guess I don't know. I would say that, you know, during World War II, warfare was still fairly stylized. Like, you had a combat place you were going to meet up and you would fight. And it became clear over time where people were heading.
Yeah. Well, because you didn't...
But now it just seems like it's... Let's just go bomb a city.
Well, and you can be somewhere in a matter of hours, whereas
I guess they did that in World War II.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah.
But every soldier in America that went to France and England had to go on a boat. It took weeks to get there. Whereas, like, now you can be on a plane in 6 hours to England.
Or not even. You send a drone.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Or you have bases. We have bases all over the world.
Drones are basically soldier boys, so he was prescient in that regard.
I thought his position on this was strange in the book because he said, so I wrote this down, super soldiers and this unmanned mecha whatever thing he has going on. And he also mentioned this in his blog, is using unmanned war machines. Well, no, this was off of something else. Anyway, is using unmanned war machines more humane or less? In the book, like, I think that they were created because it seemed more humane, and not more humane, less likely to expend resources. Like, you won't lose your people, I think, as fast, and they can do more damage. But
And more humane to whom?
But he also says that the mechanics have to stay in longer and they have a higher death rate than foot soldiers.
Well, and they're still getting exposed to PTSD, which is arguably, I think, worse than death. If you have to live with that for your entire life.
I mean, yeah, everybody in war apparently is still getting that. So yeah, it doesn't really solve that problem.
So a fun fact about this book, or about Joe Haldeman, is that he wrote the screenplay for a movie called Robot Jocks in the 80s where you fight on big mecha machines.
So good.
But you're in the robots, which is,
It was giving RoboCop. Yeah. It was giving Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
It's giving Day After Tomorrow.
Well, but in my head, the soldier boys were like the guys from Fallout, like maybe 10 feet.
There's no person in there.
Yeah.
So it's like,
they're like 10 feet, not 200 feet.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah. I thought about it.
Relatively human scale.
Yeah.
Because I've seen Robot Jocks, and I think it's really good. If you can find it, I recommend watching it. Althea Tibbs from In the Heat of the Night is in it, and so I like to think of it as the revenge of Althea Tibbs.
The guy from Alien Nation is in it. I love that show.
But yeah, I thought about that as well, because they're piloting these big things, but then the difference is they're still in them, so they can be hurt when their big 200-foot Optimus Prime falls over.
So there's one thing, as a brief aside. Every nerdy guy I know loves mecha monsters and Godzillas. I, as a female, Haley, have never once cared about them. Do y'all care about big monsters?
I like Godzilla stuff. I don't know that I'm a person who seeks out kaiju type things.
I have everyone that I know loves them as a dude. I just wonder if it's a dude thing. I don't know. Kaiju mecha women of the internet, tell us if you like.
Yeah.
I'm kaiju tolerant.
I think they're fine, but like I'm not like
I'm
gonna
kaiju
wear
neutral.
I'm not gonna wear a Godzilla shirt. So
I have nothing against them. Shin Godzilla was a really good movie. I
Shin Godzilla was a really good.
think they're fun. I don't seek them out, but I'm happy to meet one.
Yeah.
On the screen.
Not in real life.
Got Kevin a Godzilla keychain for his bag. He's got a little neon orange Godzilla hanging on his bag.
Kevin has corroborated this by nodding.
I just always wonder if I'm missing something or if I should watch more. I don't know.
I mean, if it's not your thing, it's not your thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Let's see. So I read a very helpful review by someone named Nathan Goldwag, and I'll link the review in the show notes, that breaks down all the themes that are crammed into this otherwise quite short book.
Oh, there's a lot.
And I think I agree with this person's assessment of there is a shitload going on in this book, and it makes the resulting final novel kind of a mess.
Yeah.
But also, I still think I like that there are all these things going on. So let's go through the list. There's post-scarcity dystopia. Why is it dystopian? Why does it feel dystopian when we're post-scarcity, I wonder? If we only look at the US, not at the world,
Right,
because we're not post-scarcity.
Only some of us are post-scarcity. And there seems to be, for whatever reason, for some reason I can't pinpoint, there is a war that's being continuously perpetuated. And I don't know if it's related to one country being post-scarcity and others aren't, but it's dystopian in the sense that it feels like we've passed some point of, I don't know, evolution isn't the right word, but some point of cultural advancement. And they're dealing with the fallout.
Well, I think that's an interesting point about cultural advancement, because part of what's going on is that in this post-scarcity world, people don't have to work. You could choose to work, but when you consider that there's no connection between labor and production of things, there aren't a lot of jobs. So it seems like people who actually are working in like a restaurant service industry. We have servers, and then we have many academics whose jobs are think, churn out papers, educate the next generation of academics. But I think that there aren't a lot of jobs to be had, so there's not a lot to do. And then I'm saying that out loud, and I sound like people need to work. And
well, there's no self-actualization.
People need to feel. Yeah. No, I think people definitely have a need to feel productive and useful,
and like you're contributing.
And I think like the only jobs we're exposed to are a guy who runs a convenience store, people who run those jack joints,
sex workers,
and service, like food service people.
Yeah,
and academics,
and
who are apparently about to ruin the universe.
Yeah, they say they get rid of the haves and the have-nots, but if all you can afford is like the standard gruel, it's kind of like in the last book we read.
Diamond Age.
Yeah, it's like you get so you can have gruel and you won't die. You're welcome, but I'm gonna have lobster, and that's not fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's still a stratification.
Yeah, like, and I almost think it'd be worse to like be given the basic and then nothing else. I don't know.
Yeah, and not having the option, because you can buy luxuries, but how do you buy luxuries when there's no work to be had, because work isn't strictly necessary?
I think about that.
It's kind of it's eating its tail kind of thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I almost think like, humans almost might need a little bit of struggle. I don't know. because unless you're like sitting around fully fulfilled, it might almost be worse just to like not have to do anything.
Maybe that's why they're perpetuating this war.
Yeah.
So people feel like they're still something to fight against.
The army people have the best jobs. Like they get the most ration points or whatever. They get the entertainment points.
Yeah.
They get to, although they even say that the army jobs are make work. They're just like supervising the nanoforges.
Right. Yeah. I think part of the reason for the war is some resource extraction from the global south, because you do still have to have raw materials to put into the nanoforges. And they'd said that these, not necessarily alliance member nations, but alliance favored nations, I guess, an alliance ally, they have like a wish list, and they can ask for things from U.S. nanoforges. But they said the U.S. nanoforges will provide water, dirt, and air. But if whatever it is you're asking for requires 1 ounce of platinum, you have to provide that 1 ounce of platinum. So there's still like this dependency.
Yeah.
And I suspect that's part of why there's this ongoing war. It's like a power thing.
Because they don't say why. So we developed this nanoforge technology. We're clearly hoarding it for some reason. We aren't sharing the technology like these other countries. Mm-hmm. I mean, they could probably eliminate a lot of the things that are leading to this war if they would just share the technology.
Right.
And he didn't really go into it, but I had that lingering question. It's like, well, why, like, what benefit are we getting out of not sharing the technology? Is someone profiting off of it?
It seems like a race.
I think.
Well, it seems. Yeah, I mean, I think that he's making that point that like we're not giving it to the people who are not white, but it's really difficult to see why, like, nobody's profiting off of it. The government uses it, right?
So that's why I think it's a power thing. I think it's they are not like us. We don't want them to have the ability to create whatever it is that they want, because then they could become more powerful than us. Then they could make us have to live like they live. I think it's something along those lines.
Or Cold War. Like if they can get robot jocks or whatever, soldier boys, which I think is a dumb name, by the way.
Soldier
boys. Yeah. All one word.
Yeah, soldier.
Flyboy.
I like Sailor Boy though. That's cute. Yeah, I think, and then it probably could play on. I could write you a college paper essay about how maybe we're always going to be at war and never forever peace because of humanity or whatever.
All right, so that's our post-scarcity dystopia theme.
I want to talk about the hive mind, but y'all haven't seen Pluribus yet, right?
I have
You
not.
gotta watch it. It's so good. Basically, it's about, and this is not a spoiler, but it's about humans would be better if we were all one hive mind, because it creates.
That's what this is about.
It's exactly what this is about. And the show gets into because there's 10 people left that didn't get. So an alien virus comes to Earth, and all of human people become the hive mind, and everything's great. But there's 10 people that are survivors that don't, and they're trying to deal with it, and it's
E
fascinating.
pluribus unum.
Yeah.
Out of many, one.
Is it like this where are you always a hive mind, or are you sometimes
always
a hive mind?
Every person on Earth becomes together one. So I'm talking to you, but you can answer any question from anybody in the world. Like how to get
So it's the internet.
kind of. But there's a scene where a child is flying a plane because they have access to that knowledge, and it's very upsetting to see. But yeah,
I do want to eventually talk about that too, because it also factors into the advisability of what they try to do to save the world.
yeah. Well, so my question is, in this book too, becoming part of a hive mind humanizes you, and that you get to be everybody, and you can feel more and see more. But why is it good instead of bad? Because it's the same thing in the show.
Also, why is compulsory jacking something that we're okay with?
Yeah.
I thought so much about how we couldn't even get people to take shots.
I know. I thought about that too. So,
But having a surgery that will literally might kill you.
But I do want to say that I like what he's done here is a transient hive mind. You don't have a permanent hive mind. You can go in and out of it at will and with particular people. And I don't think I've seen that done before. And so I like
unplug from the wall.
Yeah, I like that, and that you can
jack out.
enjoy like Neuromancer.
Yeah.
Jack in, and I like here that we actually know what jacking in is, because I remember reading Neuromancer and I was like, but what is he
Where is the
doing
hole?
when he's
He's putting
What
a
is
coax cable into his head.
that is exactly what I imagined. And for people younger than us may not know what
A coax.
I can feel what it feels like to plug in a coax cable. You feel that snap.
And then I press the Bluetooth button.
Every time they talked about it, I could actually feel what that would feel like in the back of my skull. So it was very evocative. But I like that they could go in and out, and that they.
Oh, they can go in and out.
Well, because you think about my main contact with hive minds is the Borg from Star Trek, and it seems like a very bad, dark place.
Yeah.
Whereas this and that show I was talking about, it seems like the best thing we could do. It also
Borg don't think it's a bad dark place.
That's
true, but the way Borg just looks scary. I think that's part of it.
They are the enemy.
But if a
want to
Borg
assimilate you.
But if a Borg just looked like us, we'd be like, this is great.
So I think that's interesting, and I think it plays into some theme in here because, the Borg are scary because they want to take away your individuality, right? They want to take away
That might be good, though.
freedom, quote unquote, right? And Joe, in his blog, several entries center around the question. Let me find it. There was never a good war or a bad peace, and he says, "Well, is a freedom without liberty preferable to fighting to regain liberty?" Which I think is interesting. So I think that the part of the tension in the book, I think, is, all right, so we're free. We don't have a lot of liberality. And liberality is not the right word. Liberty. And they want to take away all your liberty by jacking you into this hive mind. Is that preferable to fighting for freedom?
Does it take away your liberty, though?
Yeah, it takes away your liberty to want to
Kill,
It is a mandatory surgery
the process
that may kill you.
Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true.
That then forces you, and then they force you to be jacked in for 2 weeks so that you get to know a bunch of people you never wanted to meet in the first place.
I thought you meant the concept of it. So yeah,
But it's not a pleasant solution that they've come up with.
And it's maybe the worst idea to counter the problem.
So many issues like this.
It's very much not feasible. Everybody in the world get brain surgery.
It's patently absurd. It made me so mad.
Yeah, it's such a great idea, and he could have expanded the concept of hive mind and individuality without making it the solution to hive mind everybody at once.
The real solution was guerrilla tactics to take out the Jupiter Project.
That's all you gotta do.
The solution.
Yeah, it's not.
You don't have to jack everybody in.
What if we give everyone in the world surgery?
Well, but that was a separate thing, though, is that they wanted to change the way people are. So it's a separate problem. There's 2 books.
Like they don't want people
to separate problems.
They don't want people to recreate the thing. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and I also think just even in a shorter term, they want people to stop warring and hurting each other.
Yeah.
Which I think is an admirable goal. And then, of course, raises the question, do we achieve our admirable goal through any means necessary?
Right.
And part of those means are violence. And Julian, bless his poor heart, is used by everybody in this book.
Yeah.
And he ends up losing his ability to jack, which is very sad because it was very meaningful to him.
Yeah.
And then because he's lost his ability to jack, all these voluntary pacifists are like, Julian, shoot that guy.
You can do it.
I feel so bad for him. And it's interesting, too, that when he is a soldier boy and his job is doing war things, his job is not specifically to kill people in his particular role. His job is harassing
His job is
people.
jack.
He's not a hunter-killer, of
His
which
job
there
is
are
jack.
others.
Yes. But he kills somebody accidentally in that role and quite literally can't live with it, tries to kill himself.
Oh, I thought he killed that person on purpose.
No,
but
he
didn't
was
want to.
shooting to disable that person, and then that person was pushed from behind
that's
and
right,
then
that's
was
right.
killed by the
That's
shot.
right, that's
Yeah.
And then lots of people died being trampled when they used the foam that sticks you for the human flypaper.
Yeah.
So lots of people died, but he didn't intend to kill anyone, and he quite truly can't live with it. Tries to kill himself. Basically does kill himself, I feel like. And then
Would have if he hadn't been fooled by the doctor who
They
gave him the pills that
foiled
won't kill
again.
him.
But then in the second book, in the second part of his life, he's himself just flesh guy shooting and killing other flesh guys
A lot.
a lot.
And like kind of happy
It's
sometimes
like a
about
spigot got turned on or something.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's one thing to kill an unnamed foe that you don't have any beef with, but like someone who's trying to kill your girlfriend, you're like invested in it.
Yeah, I think that's true too. I absolutely think that's true. That woman was there to
Yeah.
murder his girlfriend and had already murdered
How about
some of his
her?
friends.
I loved her, the Gavrila.
Gavrila.
She is moose and squirrel. She will shoot.
The scene where she talks about, the very fat phobic scene where she talks
One of
about
many in the book.
but in particular, she talks about assassinating a fat man and she slashes him. And then she's killed so many people. This woman is ice cold. She's killed so many people. When she slashes him, she goes and throws up because of, she says, like all the stuff that falls out of him, as though like fat people have more in different organs or something. Like, Joe Haldeman, what are you talking about?
This was it. The knife and reached around him and slashed open his abdomen. He was a gross fat man, and an incredible mess spilled out. It reminded me of
An incredible mess.
Incredible mess.
It reminded me of Silence of the Lambs when he was like, "Was she a great big fat person?"
Yeah. I guess adipose tissue falls out.
I just want to like
gross.
call Joe and be like, everybody has the same amount of organs inside.
I mean, there might be more fat, but like, you're
Yeah,
still
I
going
guess,
to see
I guess that's what
recognizable
they were
things.
trying to say is that there's fat.
I guess.
Like a liposuction bag or something.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't
Thanks,
know,
Joe.
man.
It
I
was
thought it
real
was
dumb.
weird. And
It
I
was
was
real
like,
dumb.
that's what pushes her over the line into
Yeah.
needing to go throw up in the bathroom as she does her 1 millionth murder.
Sometimes, I mean, he's generally a good writer, but the prose sometimes was, he was a gross fat man. Like, that's the clunkiest prose.
Well, I'm gonna just level with you. I did not love the prose in this book.
That's not good.
I didn't mind it.
It's not horrible, but like, there's a couple of sentences where I was just like, ooh, that's bad.
He just talks round and round and round, and then
In general, I appreciated that I was not confused most of the time.
Yeah, that's
On a sentence level, I understood the sentences. I think I'm going to be a real apologist for this book.
That's okay.
I
There's
got,
worse books.
I got very confused a lot of times about who was speaking.
Oh, there are too many people in this book.
The ending is confusing, but like, I feel like every book I've ever read, everything just happens in like 5 pages.
Yes.
I'm just like, what is happening?
Yeah, you set up literally a interplanetary
Yeah.
looming end of the world and conspiracy, and then you're like, we fixed it. Don't worry about it. The forcing everybody to jack and become nice people reminded me so much of Stand on Zanzibar. Remember how they
yeah.
had those people who had the like laid back chill pheromones, and then they're
Yeah,
like, we're
yeah.
going to reproduce it and crop dust everybody with it, and then everybody's going to
Yeah.
be laid back and chill, which is a better plan than
Yeah.
brain surgery for the
Yeah.
whole world.
My question is, so people that become humanized when they become jacked and they experience everyone's emotions and become human or whatever, does that, because we create a new species, does it get passed down genetically?
I think it does, because they said then this is terrible that everyone who couldn't jack would be put on an island, and then eventually
Yeah.
breeding would make Homo sapiens pacificans
Yeah,
the
yeah.
dominant. So I guess it does.
I just don't understand how that could possibly be true.
Is it like an epigenetic shift?
I feel like they might
especially
jack every
because-
kid.
Yeah.
Well, but then the thing is, what's his name? Julian could jack, and then he basically had a brain injury that
Yeah.
made him not able to. So it seems to me that he's genetically able to.
Is he human then? Because he's still killing. I wonder. Yeah.
Yeah, some people are able to jack and some aren't.
Yeah.
So maybe the people who are able to jack will eventually take over, but they still have to be jacked. I don't see how you could pass down the ability.
I think some people it does. The
Maybe it's
thing
how
is,
you
like,
raise
some
your
people
kids.
don't have the capacity
'Cause
for it.
but it's a mechanical process.
Yeah, but some people don't have the capacity
Yeah.
for it. Like you get the Amelia got the jack installed,
Right,
And
so,
it still
like,
didn't work. So you
People
have
who
to.
can jack will take over.
I think that's right, and I think that most people can. But my thing with Julian is like, why does he go live on the island unless he just wanted to? Because he had the capacity to do it, and he lost it basically due
you
to
can't
an
just
injury.
have people around who are able to do violence.
That's
and
true.
I mean,
yeah.
that's true too.
Yeah,
I
and also,
guess.
like,
he
he, like-
could become the emperor or something.
Yeah, that's true. That's
He
true.
just walked down the street punching everybody in the face, and no one could do anything about it.
I wonder if in the future they'll get better technology so that jacking is less dangerous, or if that's like it's always.
they
Get a
did
little
find-
implant. Or
They did find those two doctors from Florida who had a 98% success rate.
There we go. Done. I don't know why it can't be perfect. I wonder if this book was written today, if it would be Bluetooth jacking and not coaxial cable jacking.
But that satisfying snap when you plug in the coax cable.
And then, like, when it starts to fail and it, like, kind of jiggles a little bit. No.
Also, guys, how did they possibly develop these jacks and not understand that if you left someone jacked in for 2 weeks, they would become a peaceful person?
I think they did.
They did. And that the government didn't want that to happen because we like war.
That's why Marty knew about the 20
Yeah.
Okay.
and had been studying the 20. So I think they did know, and it was covered up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cover it makes more sense.
But it's funny to
than
be
not
like,
knowing.
no, we're only allowed to work 10 days. And everyone's just like,
Why? Workers' comp.
okay.
When they started talking about these 20 people who were all peaceful,
They're horrible
I was trying to picture what was happening there, and like I just kept picturing some really like zen and vaguely threatening but appealing cult.
Yes.
Yeah. And like that is cult vibes in there.
Yeah, but good for them.
Brainwashed but nicely.
I'm glad for them.
How did Joe put it? Joe said
Haldeman
a
or
book-
Walton?
Joe Walton said it's a book about horrors of the near future of a near future war solved by telepathic niceness.
Yeah. The concept of humanization reminds me of there's a tiny short story by Andy Weir called The Egg. And basically it's like a guy dies and goes to heaven. And the God person is like, you have to live, you're going to go back to Earth and experience everybody who's ever lived. Like, you're going to be your grandmother. You're going to be the guy at the bus station. You're going to be Hitler. And then once you get to the end of experiencing every human life, then you can like move forward. But that's the idea of like, once you get everyone's perspective, you'll be a better person.
I talk about not agreeing with a premise.
Talk about it.
And I do think someone in some comment I read also talked about this. So apologies if I steal their verbiage. But I kind of think the only reason society works is because we don't know what everybody is thinking.
Yeah, I saw several people say we need to keep our worst selves private.
Yeah, that's true.
And I don't disagree with that, but maybe if all of our worst selves are laid bare to each other, maybe we don't.
Everyone would understand each other.
Yeah, and we're also like, oh, I occasionally have these horrible intrusive thoughts, and so does everyone else. It's okay.
Yeah, and like if someone is a murderer, you're like, you were beat as a child. We understand. We forgive you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Or maybe like if you like if a lot of bad thoughts are fear based, if suddenly you don't fear everybody, you won't have bad thoughts. I don't know.
I think the bigger question comes, what happens to individuality and art? Because if you all experience the same emotions and you understand them, no one's misunderstood. So I think there is value in individuality. Because if you're all, and the show gets into this too. It's like, are you just ants? Are you just like working?
Yeah.
You're always pleasant, but like, what if you want to have
So
a
there's
bad
no
day?
job, there's no art.
Yeah.
You don't have any more feelings.
Yeah, like nobody has an individual story because
Is
you
that
already know it.
Is that a piece we want? I don't know.
I don't know. I think it depends on how bad your life is now.
Yeah, I guess it does. I bet there is a different answer to that question based on where you're coming from.
Yeah, like if you're living in poverty and being abused, I'm sure
constant
you're
war,
like, please let me have food in my belly and someone nice to me.
Yeah,
So,
that's
yeah.
true.
I also do think the transient nature of being jacked in or not probably better lends itself to maintaining individuality
Like
as
people-
compared to an actual hive
Yeah.
mind.
Like people can be pacified, but then never jack in again if they
Yeah.
want to.
Right.
But they won't hurt somebody and they can still do art.
yeah, they could still have a bad day. They
Yeah.
could still be mad at a friend.
Yeah.
What if your friend is, too far away to jack with and you have a fight and then you just like have to
You jack it out.
you have to,
gotta jack it out.
you can't jack it out.
Jack in and out.
You can't jack
You
in
gotta send a letter.
and receive their gestalt.
But you can, because if you jack in anywhere, if they're jacked in, then you will get it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
There's no
So you
distance.
have a little
Okay.
jack telephone line.
I wonder if you get more and more harmonization if you're jacked frequently. If you Like if the people that it's like you do the bare minimum, you jack once, you're human. But then if you're like jacking it's like meditating every day, you become like the Buddha or
That's a
whatever.
good question. Also, I think it's an interesting thought experiment to be like, all right, so you've created this world where we have people who can jack and people who can't, and eventually the people who can't are going to be gone. Then you're just left with people who can or do, right? So what does the social stratification start to be there? Because I think people are still people.
Yeah.
And everybody wants their club. So what do the clubs start looking like? Is it people who jack all the time?
Who's
Is it
the
people-
best at jacking?
Right.
But
Who's
maybe,
the most empathetic?
but maybe that's our perspective as people who will never be human.
I just have this feeling like there's parts of being human that are too innate to change quickly.
Yeah, it's possible.
Maybe it won't take. I don't know. But because I feel like
It only takes 2 weeks, Amy.
If you think about how many generations of trauma our ancestors have stored in our bodies now, like
right, our desire to huddle up with people we trust is really strong. Right,
and that's why a hive mind would be great though, because you're always huddling.
yeah. I guess if you're
And that
connected
people
to
don't have
everybody-
secrets from you.
Yeah,
The show I'm watching, I'm just like, man, fucking plug me in right now. They make it seem great, which is probably just the beginning. So who knows? But yeah,
yeah. How many episodes in are you?
only 5, but maybe.
Let's see. Well, we touched on a lot of them. So there was a post-scarcity dystopia, which we talked about. The concept of a drone war, forever war, which I think we've been talking about.
Yeah.
War is entertainment, we talked about. Technological telepathy. We have not talked about Christian death cults infiltrating the government. Honestly, that feels a little too familiar, especially when they talked about how the vice president was one of them. And I was like, I know he is.
The cyber Baptist.
Mr. No Sellouts Productions with his review got really upset about quote unquote God bashing.
Oh God!
I don't think it was. I
God.
don't think they were God bashing as much as they were God follower bashing.
Stop hurting my omniscient God's feelings.
Oh my God.
But also, I'm pretty sure it was like the issue here wasn't God; it was what people do with
extremism.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
And what people do with God has always been.
You
a
also
problem.
had normal religious people in this book.
does he defend
Yeah.
like the Inquisition?
God bashing Haley.
God bashing. They were just
don't
trying
bash
to
my
get
God.
rid of.
They just really believed in what they were doing.
Burn a witch. Burn a
You know,
witch.
so to bring back contact again, there's like a Christian death cult that wants to stop the
Oh,
first
yeah.
contact happening.
Why must they?
Is that a science to play devil's advocate? Is there a science fiction reason that we're trying to God bash or not? Or is it just
in the book?
well?
Or-
Because like this happens a lot in science fiction. It's like a Christian or a religious faction wants to impede progress. I guess.
I mean, I
it's
think
because
that-
sci-fi writers tend to be a little big on agnostic.
I agree. I think that's part of it. So I mean,
it's also not fake. I mean,
Say that again.
it's not fictional to say like that there are real life
That's true.
religious extremists who are opposed to any type of change.
Oh yeah, but I think that there's grades of this, right? Like you can be religious and not be an extremist, but
Of course.
And I think this is total conjecture, but the people in science fiction books who tend to be the heroes are the sort of rational thinkers.
That's true.
Not not like religious people aren't rational, but people who go to science rather than religion, right?
But it's never like a Muslim or a Jewish death cult, though. It's interesting.
I mean, I guess
I
it's
feel
not
like
science fiction, but I think like every movie for a good 20 years
know, the
was about
jihadists.
Muslim extremism.
Yeah.
Well, no, but like not in.
I'm trying to think of a
that's
science
in a
fiction
different way.
version though. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's always in like just that's more like Islamophobia for war. This is like
Or there's like made up religious cults in science fiction as well.
yeah. That's true.
Well, I do think that Christians have made this bed for themselves.
Touche. I do not disagree.
Yeah, I mean, when I read the Christian extremist vice president, I mean, I
yeah.
thought of our Christian extremist vice president. Like,
Exactly.
We've got a real one.
Yep.
Life imitates art. We've also got a. Go ahead.
I think I think my answer to that question is science fiction books. It does tend to seem like progress versus religion.
Yeah.
Which I guess is not. It's not unlike what's happened through history. I mean, you think about excommunicating Galileo.
Yeah.
You know that
Yeah.
sort of thing.
A Christian though, yeah.
Yeah. So
Because like like Muslims helped invent.
they were way ahead of.
Yeah, but like
Christians.
progress in technology and science. Yeah.
I don't know.
It's very funny you brought up Galileo. He came up.
Galileo's head
Kevin
was on
and
the
I-
block.
Oh my
His
God,
crime was looking up the truth.
the simulation is breaking down.
What happened?
Last night, Kevin and I went to Dad's in Virginia Highlands with our friend Adrian, and then her neighbor came, and I don't remember even why it came up, but then she mentioned Galileo. What, Kevin? Oh, we were talking
yeah.
about flat earthers because some of us actually know them. And then
We actually know
Adrian's-
some.
Yeah, Adrian's neighbor brought up Galileo, and I think they were trying to remember Galileo's name, and then one of them was like Galileo, and I was like, oh yeah, I was like,
Galilei.
everybody knows Galileo. I said his head was on the block. His crime was looking up the truth.
And as the bombshells of my daily fears explode, I'm going to trace them to my youth.
And so
As we all know.
that was less than 24 hours ago that I had that conversation.
That's funny.
The simulation is breaking
I made
down.
my nieces listen to Closer to Fine yesterday.
And
Good.
They'd seen Barbie though, right?
and they loved it.
But they had never heard the song all the way
It's their
through. and I was
favorite
like,
song
oh,
now.
girl, you wait.
Just wait.
Okay, how about Big Bang Theory off the coast of Jupiter?
Okay, so
Speaking of religion versus science, Big Bang Theory.
My favorite part of the book was talking about building a giant collider
That is cool.
around the planet of Jupiter using 3D printing. Was
Nanoforgers making nano.
really
Nanoforgers
cool.
making
It was
nanoforgers.
really, really cool. I thought that was a really
There's a big
interesting
part of
idea.
that. There's a thing like that in Seven Apes too. Like if you can make one 3D printer that it can just keep making them, it's so cool.
And so let me make sure I understood this. So they were doing this because they were trying to replicate the conditions of the Big Bang just to understand
So
it,
if
just
you have,
to study it.
If you have a big enough, yes, I think
Okay.
so. If you have a big enough collider, you can eventually get to that the speed of the Big Bang.
But then it is funny that it
I
took it wasn't like immediately obvious to everyone that if we create the conditions of the Big Bang, we're going to create the Big Bang.
This is the other part of my favorite part about the book is at the very beginning of the book, he talks about how Amelia has a picture on her desk of Mickey Mouse from the Magician's Apprentice.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Looking at the brooms, the Sorcerer's Apprentice.
Apprentice. Looking at like he's
I
made
guess
these
it's
brooms.
Fantasia.
Oh yeah. Fantasia, yeah.
Anyway, he's made these brooms animate, and he doesn't know what to do with them after he makes them animate. And it's like,
Yeah.
isn't that all of science?
Yeah,
it was
that was
a
cute.
great little thematic connection.
I just think Joe is very clever.
Joe's a clever guy.
He's a cool guy.
He's a smart guy.
The
it
Big
is-
Bang is still a theory too.
It is true.
It is.
true.
So they're like, let's test it.
Yeah, let's
if
test it.
everything blows up, no one will be around to remember if it was true.
I'll take this small opportunity to tell people if they have not gone and listened to, there's a podcast that Hank Green does with a science friend whose name is escaping me. I think it's just called The Universe. And it's like an 8-episode, something like that. Or might be less than that. But anyway, it's a short run podcast where he talks to this science friend about the origins of the universe. And it is such a good podcast because he's us. We don't know anything. And he's just getting his mind blown by the idea of the origins of the universe. And if you haven't listened to it, it's great.
We should all read A
Highly
Brief History of Time and then have a podcast episode about it.
I've read it.
I mean, me too,
Yeah.
but we should do it again. I don't
It's so
remember
good.
one thing in it, but yeah.
The thing I liked about this experiment was how they realized that it explains why we've never met another intelligent civilization. It explains the
keep blowing
Fermi
it up.
paradox. Like as soon as we get to this point in history, we blow ourselves up and we start all
I
over.
do love an attempt to explain the Fermi paradox.
I think
You
it's
gotta
fun.
love it. You gotta love it.
I did love it. I thought it was fun.
So it's us. It's our turn. We're gonna blow up the universe.
But then it's funny. You've got this Christian extremist cult that's like basically acknowledging that the Big Bang Theory is true.
Which is wild. I guess.
Because they're like, we want the Jupiter project to succeed and blow everything up. And I mean, maybe they just think of it as a big bomb, but it is sort of like sort of acknowledging that the Big Bang Theory is real.
They want like a rapture-like experience, but like, would it be easier just to be like, we want nuclear war? Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess this is fairly instantaneous. It'll take 48 minutes to get here. It'll take a few minutes.
He does talk about their like fundamental beliefs, and I was trying to remember if there was something in that description that would explain why they wouldn't want nuclear war over this. but
Yeah.
I can't remember.
As somebody who was raised without religion, I'm always fascinated by people that want to die. So I guess they want to go to heaven quicker,
I don't think most Christians want to die.
but they want to go to heaven, and they would welcome the rapture.
Sure, they want to go to heaven. I don't think every Christian is a rapture person.
No, 100%. But there are
no, I
people-
think most are not.
I knew a guy when I worked at the library at UGA whose parents didn't recycle because they were like, it don't matter.
Because the rapture's
coming. Why would you react?
Raptures are coming.
I feel like maybe they just didn't want to recycle.
Don't bring God into this.
Okay, how about feminist favorite? What do we got?
Julian gets a period
Also, my feminist favorite. He gets PMS
because he is jacked in with his platoon or whatever, and they all like.
they all sync up.
I mean, girls get like boners or the feeling of a boner, but yeah, he gets like cramps and stuff.
I like how he says the embarrassment of a unintended erection.
It's got to be embarrassing.
Oh God, yeah.
If you don't have a notebook around to put in front
Probably
of it.
like bleeding on your pants.
Yeah.
I chuckle to myself every time men talk about synchronized periods.
Yeah,
It was a real prevalent belief for a long time.
It really was.
I have synced up with every girlfriend I've ever had. I think it's true.
I do not think it's true.
Well, then it's a coincidence of that's lasted 30 years.
I mean, I guess you could have hormone response to each other, but
I don't think like,
but it's not like
an
every time
entire
a group
building.
of women get together, they're gonna
No, but-
sync up.
Literally every woman I've ever dated. So
Okay.
Mine is
Sorry.
Oh,
And
go
also, he had this moment where he was trying to have trans sympathy.
oh yeah, yeah.
And I put that under feminist favorite because I think it was an effort at gender recognition.
yeah.
He's trying.
I don't think he was entirely successful, but I appreciated that it was in there. And he even said something like people trapped in the wrong bodies, and it's totally understandable why they would want to feel like what it's like to be in another body,
Yeah.
which I thought was interesting.
Oh, and I mean, he even gives his society, everybody gets one free sexual reassignment surgery if they so choose.
Right. Just then you got to quote unquote
You get paid to do it the second time.
pay to get your dick back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the part that wasn't so
That
great.
phrasing made me go, oh.
But even when he
Yeah.
wrote that, it was kind of in
tongue-in-cheek, yeah.
pro-trans terms because he was like, Karen is a woman, and then like fully correct gendered Karen, which I thought was good. It wasn't like this weird.
There's no judgment.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he talked about her going back to being a man, which is not
just detransitioning.
great.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was a very. I think you used the word ham-fisted earlier. I think it's like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he at least like, even broaching the idea of it in a way it didn't seem terribly judgmental was
this
ahead
like
of his time.
Vietnam vet out there trying to act like it's okay.
And I think the point he's making is just like very, very simple. Once you've walked a mile in someone else's shoes, so to speak, once you've soldier boyed a mission in someone else's head,
Yeah.
you just can't not have empathy for that experience. And
or anything that ever happens. Like you're gonna empathize and be nice about it. It seems like.
yeah, I think it's just making a really simple point where he's like,
Yeah.
once you understand that everybody's just doing their best and trying to be happy and everyone's hurting, it's pretty hard to be mean to them.
Yeah, like if a transphobe got to experience the feelings of dysphoria and isolation, they'd be like, "Oh, you should do what makes you happy."
Oh my God, it's like Marjorie Taylor Greene being like, oh, being large scale bullied is terrible.
That totally reminded me of that character Gavrila. They try to jack her in, and she's physically capable of being jacked in, but she's so emotionally disturbed that she can't do it.
And Ingram.
Yeah,
Fascinating.
Ingram was they were both like that,
Yeah.
right?
yeah.
Yeah, they were both too messed
There
up
are
to
just
connect
some
with another
people you
human.
cannot.
They're psychopaths. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, it was interesting.
Mine. Can I do mine?
Oh yeah.
Mine was possibly the epigraph.
Yes.
But if we're gonna pick a scene in the book, I thought it was so funny when Amelia got booted from her hospital room. And so then she has to go to accounts receivable where they inform her that she has to pay for her 2 meals that she didn't ask for that were inedible, but they were catered, so they're not included in her free health care. So she's mad about that. And then Julian shows up with her clothes. And because she's been kicked out of her room, she just drops her hospital gown and is stark naked in accounts receivable. And the clerk is like, you can't do that. And she's like, bitch, watch me. And then it says, Julian says, the receptionist looked as if he had never had a triangle of pubic hair touching his desktop before. So funny.
Also, feminist double favorite. She has pubic hair.
Oh, yeah.
You go, Joe.
Good point, Haley.
Oh,
Joe's-
it's gonna come back in style.
Joe's like forever Bush.
When did he write this? 90s, probably.
Yeah,
Well, who knows when he
96.
wrote it, but published
Well,
in the 90s. Do you know when he wrote it? Did he say when he actually wrote it?
96, 97. He said, well, I only know that because he said on his blog that he wrote Forever War when he was
At Iowa, right?
early 30s, and he wrote this in his 50s, which explains and he said that kind of shows his different.
We were on the
Viewpoint
eve
of war.
of the Brazilian wax craze.
We were.
Okay. I don't have a particular misogynist
either, like-
moment.
Oh, I do.
There's some gross stuff, but I think
Yeah,
it stuck out.
there is, but yeah, there isn't anything that really stood out to me. Amy, take it away.
Let me list my misogyny.
Let's go, girl.
Let me count the
You
ways.
go, girl.
It took 13 pages for a woman to suffer a brutal rape that was described
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
too,
Yeah.
all too
Yeah.
clear detail.
It comes up several times.
Yeah, and then by page 52, we had Amelia being kind of touchy about something, and Julian going, "Is it that time of the month?"
Even though he's had that time with us, but maybe he knows.
maybe that's why he's like, I'm always grumpy.
To be fair, I get grumpy.
I just get so fucking tired
Such a cliche.
of that.
Yeah, it
having
is.
a feeling and someone being like, "Are you on the rag?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it might have been more prevalent a 10, 15
For
years
sure,
ago.
yeah.
But like, oh,
Well, and I think
makes my blood boil.
we as a podcast,
I must be on the rag.
We as a podcast are good with not surrounding ourselves with that type of person. So.
Yeah, no one said anything to me like that in probably 20 years.
No.
And then I also kept getting upset by how much we had to talk about how old Amelia was.
Oh, she's so old.
She's 2 years. She's 2 years
our
older
age.
than I am.
Yeah.
And he was like, he didn't say love her in his mind yet because that was awkward. Amelia being 15 years older than him. It's like, why
He doesn't
does
have
that
to date
make
her.
it weird? And then his mom being like, "You're pretty serious about this old woman." I'm just, Jesus Christ! Can we not?
What does he want to use besides lover? This is my old crone.
It's like
My old ball and chain.
At least she's still hot for being so
Yeah,
old.
like, do you like? I'll have sex with this old woman, but I will not call her my lover.
No.
I will say with the mom scene, I somewhat get because when the mom is like, she's closer to my age than yours, I
get
think
that.
that's like a reasonable thing that family members often complain about in age gap relationships.
Yeah.
But yeah, your point is valid.
Also, have they seen Kate Blanchett, who was in her 50s and stunning?
Come on, right?
Yeah, I think the bigger
Unfuckable after 45.
the bigger issue to me is that she's his graduate advisor.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
Not anymore.
Yeah, but don't you? I mean,
I mean, I dated my Latin
Although-
teacher, so.
But it seems like grades aren't an issue because, like, it's not like he needs to get a job after this. He got.
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't think there's a power dynamic there anymore.
okay.
He was dating Carolyn, and then
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
so I don't.
and he seems grown.
That did bother.
I mean, if he was like 18,
He is absolutely grown. I just couldn't figure
He's in
out if
his
she was
30s,
in any sort of
grown, yeah.
authority position.
No, but she did say. I think the quote was, "I need my little boy."
Oh my God, I threw up. And she was like, I need my little boy bad, and I'll show you just how bad. Don't call him a little boy. He's 32.
some people
Just
want
as
that
bad-
dynamic, though.
I know.
Just as bad as some of the infantilizing language we see coming out of men. and
Some
stuff.
people
want it.
like that kind of thing.
Some people wear diapers and have like baby
Oh, he also
play.
said.
Oh, wow, that
Baby
took a
play.
turn.
Yeah.
As long as
Haley went 0 to 60.
I mean, I
I'm
guess
just
as long
saying,
as
there's
everybody's
weirder
an
stuff.
adult, that's fine. But like, whoa, that language was so loaded. And then he talks about going to this little like Saturday night club they have.
Oh, the Saturday Night
The
Club
Friday
sounded
night
fun.
club on Saturday
Yeah.
at Saturday Night Special.
I like thinking of them as the Thursday Murder Club.
Yeah. But then he talks about how he started going there with her, and that they think of him as, you know, her boy or whatever. And
little
that
boy.
if they only knew that I was really her boy. And I was like, Jesus.
Also,
Yeah.
it's
Okay, Joe.
it's loaded to refer to a black man as
As a boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's quite
That-
loaded.
another
Yeah, when
reason
they were like
that bothered
Amelia's
me.
boy, I was like, yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a white boomer was not the best choice for a culturally sensitive depiction of a black man.
Anyway.
those
Anything
are
else?
good. I like those.
Yeah. They're all fair. Did we have any boobs?
There was a radiating.
Nothing.
There were breasts
Yeah.
radiating when
Yeah.
Jack had sex. Oh, when Julian had
The-
sex with that
Jack-
random, like,
Zoe.
Yeah, the jacked sex scene is interesting for sure.
yeah.
It is interesting.
I mean, he clearly was very motivated during those scenes because that was his best writing.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So yeah, breasts were radiating.
Radiating. What does that mean?
I
They might be hot.
don't know.
It could have been worse though. Good job, Joe.
I just need to find this because I
Yeah, search the word radiating.
I am going to breasts radiating. Oh, that's the whole sentence.
Yeah.
Well, is there a period after radiating?
Yeah, and a capital B.
Oh, is it the start of the sentence or the?
It's its
Oh,
own
I
sentence.
think it's think
Okay.
it's because he is describing the sex from both perspectives since he's experiencing
yeah.
both perspectives.
Which is cool.
I think that's what he means because he says our vagina, our
Yeah.
penis, breasts radiating.
That is so wildly advanced for someone in the 90s. Like, there's some people that say a little homo, but he's like, no, I like it.
Yeah, I don't mind it. Good for them, I say. Good
yeah.
for them.
Love that journey for them.
A good catch, Amy. I did not catch the breasts radiating, which is a 2-word sentence.
Yeah, for as horny as this book is, the lack of discrete description is interesting. Yeah.
Whew. I was going to read that passage, but I'm not reading that passage. All right, shall we talk about food?
Seemed normal food to me.
Yeah, there's nothing. I mean, I know it's not just fantastical food, but it was
Yeah.
very pedestrian food. It's like we had cheese and beer.
They don't eat often, but when they do, we get the whole menu, like George R.R. Martin
Oh, it's
style.
like when Homegirl would have a sandwich and Girl with
Yes.
Dragon Tattoo.
Oh God, I made so many egg sandwiches.
But here's a weird part there are two things I noted that were weird. So in their interrogation room that floods with gas when they have Ingram in custody, they also have an automatic bar that dispenses wine in that room. And I felt like it was because they're like still in the room and he's like, I went to the auto bar and got a glass of wine. I was like, really?
I want that.
Interrogation room. And then there's a scene later in the book where all the academics have gotten together and I think they get attacked while they're having their lunch. But his friend Reza, his nice gay friend Reza, dipped a chicken leg in jalapenos. What do we think is going on there? Like you gotta
Dipped a chicken leg in jalapenos.
you just press them into the cut up jalapenos and some of them stick, most of them fall off. And then you
Yeah.
That is a good question.
What does it
That
mean
went right past me.
dip a chicken leg
Maybe
in
if it had sauce
jalapenos?
on it, then you could definitely
If it's
adhere some jalapenos. to
It
the
might
chicken
be.
leg.
So when you buy a jar of pickled jalapenos, it comes mainly in
Yeah.
sauce. Maybe it's just like the hot sauce, like a vinegary pepper sauce.
Maybe.
Yeah. 'cause
Maybe.
yeah. That's my
I was
guess.
just imagining he sticks
Dipping
the
it in the
chicken leg and then all the jalapenos fall off. There's like
Yeah.
two still stuck on there.
I'd assume it's the sauce.
It's a weird way to eat a chicken leg.
Oh, that reminded me of another thing that bugged me. Julian, when they have Ingram, I think it's Ingram, that's the dude, right?
Yeah.
They have him in custody, and suddenly Julian is like the super assassin. Like he has all these abilities to fight this guy.
Is a Mary Sue?
Yeah, like
A
where
Mary-
before
a
he
Mary-
mainly fought in this one
A Mary Julian?
outfit. Yeah, I don't
Yeah, he very much goes 007.
Yeah.
He's like rolling and shooting. He takes out Gavrila, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This sad war guy in this
Yeah.
machine.
Being a mechanic in these bots, you wouldn't even have to be in shape.
No,
You don't have to like punch somebody. Yeah.
Okay. Any other food? Any food?
No, I had no food.
Nothing of note, really.
Lots and lots of alcohol.
Yeah.
Soap stuff. Okay.
Search me.
I got you. General Stanton Roser. He's the general who places all the orders for Marty. Marty basically has his pet general who turns out, well, he has his pet general. He calls him. He's like, place an order for this. And then just a weird order comes down and someone gets reassigned and they get to go to a place or they have whatever resource they need. And then we find out that General Stanton Roser was one of the 20 who had supposedly died, but, quote, with a different name and face.
Bum, bum, bum.
Classic secret identity with plastic surgery to make you a different person.
Didn't somebody else have face changing surgery? Was it Gavrila? She might just change her hair.
Oh, yeah, she wears wigs and she wears a mask that smushed her face. Because
Yeah.
they were like, oh, no, this woman's hot. That woman was ugly, but she was wearing a mask.
They kept talking about how she walked.
Yeah.
Like
That's not how a Mexican woman walks.
hot. She was so hot, and she didn't walk like a Mexican
And
woman.
after, actually, this could go in misogynist moment. After Julian shoots her and blows the top half of her off, he says the bottom half of her is still lying
Yeah,
seductive.
I remember
Yes, I
remember.
But listen, if you got a nice ass, you got a nice ass.
Well, I wonder if it was like torso gone and her legs are crossed.
I imagine
Spread eagle.
I imagined her.
What's
She
the
was like
seductive pose?
I don't know.
belly down, her butt was up.
Like a cat that's in heat.
Presenting.
If you got a good butt, you got a good butt, and blowing the top half off doesn't change that immediately.
But
And he was just like, and I was still turned on by that bottom half.
Seduction
Seductively was very strange. It's intentional.
Has to be
Yes.
something you're doing.
Yes.
She didn't have a head.
Very strange.
She didn't have a torso.
She came by it naturally.
She had dumps like a truck.
Thighs like what?
Look at her. She's always trying to be seductive.
All right. Did you like this book?
I didn't mind it.
Amy's got her nose wrinkled.
Amy, I could tell Amy did not enjoy this book. But I'm interested to know why.
I think because it was such a hot mess.
It is a mess.
Yeah.
But we
And
had such good discussion, though, more than a lot of other books.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he wasn't trying something.
Oh, yeah.
I don't dislike Joe himself.
He's a good man.
I just think it was a mess. I did like the first half of the book more than the second half of the book when we were learning about Julian's life as a soldier boy and his PTSD and dealing with his feelings.
That seemed more like something Joe knows about, and he probably
and
does.
the
I agree.
The second part was just
It's a mess.
a mess.
Yeah.
And so slogging through the second part really colored my entire
Yeah. I read.
experience of the first. Because the first part, I thought I was chugging along with the first part. I thought it was all right, but then
I finished the last hour of it this morning, and I was just like, let's go.
I liked it. I appreciate when someone really swings for the fences, whether it's a book or a movie or, you just really go for it. And
Sure.
it doesn't always pan out, but
I'm mad at him. Yeah.
I appreciated him really going
I
for
mean, this
it.
is no Ring World.
It is no, well, I was thinking too, when I finished it, I was like, why do I like this book? And I was like, we have read a lot of shit.
in comparison.
And in the grand scheme of things, this is not, it ain't Ringworld. And
He's got female characters.
yes,
it does.
they have agency.
For all his shortcomings, I appreciate that Joe Haldeman unreservedly appreciates women, acknowledges the contributions of women. I like that about his.
Definitely thinks they're hot.
Definitely thinks they're
You
hot.
can do both. Yeah.
You can do both.
Yeah, 100%.
You can be a feminist and want to bang them.
Which I like. Which I like that he
actually
can.
think
I like that he could do both.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
it's
true.
important for people to see that. You can be horny for women and also be like, hey, they're people. They do good
Right.
stuff.
Yeah. Honestly, that means he loves
And the ones that are competent can also be attractive.
Yep. There are all kinds of women,
unless they're
it turns
fat, as
out.
we know.
you can't be fat.
Yeah,
and
can't
hot.
be fat.
Can't be fat.
Can't be fat. But yeah,
So many books.
I liked the book.
Yeah.
Forgive me, I liked it.
I'm impressed that
No
you like the book
judgment.
that was so much army.
This teetered on the edge of me liking it. So.
Well, I feel like it was, it's less about the war and more about
That's true.
Julian's interiority, and I like that. And then
That's true.
I like a good thriller, and this wasn't a good thriller, but it was it was a thriller, and so I'll take it. It had some suspenseful scenes where I was like, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
And actually, when we had talked in our group chat, and Haley, you said something about Julian's suicide attempt, but what I remembered you saying was Julian's suicide. So I actually thought he was going to die in the
sorry.
book.
Oh, that was,
No,
that's a good twist.
That was actually a good.
Oh, good.
I was expecting him to die, and so
You're
he
like,
took all
oh.
the pills, and I was like, well, I wonder if it's going to be Amelia's perspective now. And then it was like, dun dun dun, he's alive.
Oh, the narrator. That's another reason I didn't
Why it
like it.
shifted perspectives?
It shifted. It was mostly Julian or this random third-party narrator
It tended to alternate.
that we never knew who that was or why we were doing that.
I would appreciate
And
it.
then sometimes we got Gavrila, sometimes we got Amelia.
Yeah.
But it never. There was no rhyme or reason to like. In the very beginning, it shifted alternately between Julian and this third-party omniscient that.
We got Gavrila and Amelia as first person narrators. Are you sure?
I don't
Or
think
at least-
Gabriella. We got
well,
Julian.
at least it was the if
It was always
we
Julian.
got a
in third
lot
person.
of Gavrila's interior monologue. So if it, I mean,
Yeah,
that was
it
the third
felt-
person.
It was third person, but it felt like it was her perspective, right? So
It was always jarring to go from a third person to like I think.
So
that
I
this
think
is
I don't necessarily not like the idea of having a third person omniscient narrator. It was just like the first part of the first half of the book was so Julian third like Julian remove narrator, Julian remove narrator, Julian remove, and then it just changed. I don't know. I didn't love it.
Yeah. It definitely was jarring, and I don't normally
mileage may
notice narration things, but yeah.
Yeah, it bugged me.
Is this Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
It's obviously Star Wars because there's war.
Amy,
Well,
is it Star Trek?
you're right. Well, yes, but I didn't want to just do that because I know that's annoying. So, if Jupiter is Mount Doom,
Ooh.
then they have to throw the nanoforges into it to defeat evil.
I
Or
said
something?
it's Lord of the Rings because the nanoforge is on one of Jupiter's rings.
That's like my
And
Star Wars.
they're battling for control of the nanoforge that's on the ring.
I could see PTSD being a thing in Andor.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
Yeah.
Star Wars. I said really it's Star Trek because they have replicators.
I didn't follow your heart. It's whatever you want it to be.
It's post internal combustion engine, so it's Star Wars.
It's actually Robot Jocks, that movie I was talking about.
It is Diamond Age
Surprise.
and Stand on Zanzibar and Robot Jocks.
And Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
Go watch Robot Jocks.
I need to go back and listen to our Forever War episode because I remember loving that book.
Okay. What are we reading next time? I forgot.
The gods themselves, I think.
Okay.
Cool. Some Asimov.
Asimov.
Say goodbye to female characters, guys.
Thanks for all the women,
It's
Joe.
been real. It's been real.
All right. Rate, review, subscribe, join the Discord. Bye.
Bye.